Welcome back to the Jack of All Games podcast. And today we are talking to the man, the myth, the legend who worked with us and lost 2 stone without going to the gym once. So I would like to introduce everybody to Sam Featherstone. He is the owner of, I believe it's Oval Renewables. I'll let him introduce himself in a second. 10k followers on Instagram, over 10k on YouTube. I've done my research. And Sam was actually on the program for a total of 84 weeks. Noticeable achievements, which we are going to touch upon. He lost 2 stone. He lost 10 centimeters off his waist, 15 centimeters off his waist. 10 centimeters off his chest. But Sam, would you like to introduce yourself without me rambling on too much? Who you are, what you do for work, and your expertise, mate?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I'm Sam, and I am the owner of Oval Renewables, which is basically a specialist electrical firm, which we do solar battery, electric vehicle charging all over the country, traveling to hotels and everything else, which was one of the reasons why I wanted to try and get myself in shape. But yeah, just a very busy tradesperson, as most of the people probably listening to this are as well. And yeah, decided to do something about my health, really.
Wicked. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep it raw, we're going to keep it sweet. We're just going to deep dive into your journey. You're going to basically walk through where you started, where it all came from, what you achieved on the program, and what we achieved together, so to speak, and see if we can give some value to obviously all the listeners and stuff as well. So we'll try and keep it to the point, guys. We're not going to kind of ramble on with things. So I guess taking it back to the very, very start then, Sam, how did you find me? I believe you were recommended me by a fellow Spark, but I'll let you
Yeah.
kind of, how you did kind of find me in the program.
Yeah, so I was recommended to you guys from Dean at Shador, which is the legend that is Dean, Dean Stone Street, and yeah, and I was basically working with him on a job, and he was showing me what he was doing with you, and I was like, oh, I could really do with getting something done, and I think that's the most common kind of thing where you talk to people about kind of a bit of a fitness thing, and people tend to go, yeah, I should really do something like that. And I got to the point where I was expecting my second child to come, and I was like, I just need to like get myself in shape, because it's full on being a parent, but it's full on being a tradesperson and a parent as well. And I was just like, I need to get going. And then so we started chatting on Instagram. And obviously, the good thing about Instagram is you can kind of see what the results have been as well, which was really good. But being honest, I was absolutely terrified of what I might be letting myself in for. But the reality is, like, you always feel like things are going to be worse than what they are. And what I quickly kind of got used to was the fact that it was all down to me. I could kind of go as fast or as slow as I wanted, and basically I could just try and create a bit of a structure that I could keep to whilst being sort of here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, remembering back to our first call, talking about being a tradesman, I'm pretty sure it was either lunchtime or whatever, you were in the van, and I remember you losing signal as well, and you were
Yeah,
fucking, give me a second, I'm walking down the road, and I remember you cutting
yeah,
on, cutting off, and I thought, this guy's fucking off, he's off. He's stuck around. Yeah, no, that's sick. I remember back that as well. But yeah, like I say, fucking fitting in the calls during work hours, typical
yeah.
of fucking being a tradie as well.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think if I just got back from a job or just got to a job. I can't remember, but it's always the case when you're a tradesperson. You're like up, running around, trying to do 100 things at once, and I was just feeling so bad. Like I knew, and I think a lot of people know in the mind that they're not doing the right stuff to keep themselves healthy, but you kind of say to yourself, I just need to stop off at a Mackey's because I've got to do this, because I've got to do that. But what I quickly found was that it's not about like nailing everything 100%. It's just like
Just
doing your best. It's that, like, even if you nail it like 70% of the time or 60% of the time, you're doing a lot better than just not even trying. So that
yeah.
that was like a massive thing for me.
So many people trying to be perfect, and I find that's where a lot of people fall down. In that, a lot of people come to us from having tried other plans and stuff in the past, and a lot of them will be like, tried keto, I tried cutting out all my
Mm,
carbs, I cut out X, Y, Z, and it's like I couldn't stick to it. And it's like fucking duh, like of course you can't stick to it.
yeah.
But a question I wanted to ask you
Hmm.
was, I mean, was you on the hunt for a PT when you kind of found us, or was it just like by chance from what Dean had kind of experienced and sort of suggested to you?
I think I was like subconsciously. I think my subconscious had my back. I think it was like, "Come on, leave this to me, mate. I'll sort you out." It wasn't
Never actually
like
thought
with a
that.
lot of people. Yeah, I like with a lot of people. It wasn't front and center because you've got like kids to deal with, you've got jobs to deal with. But I think I had that little niggling feeling in my back, in the back of my head, that I needed some accountability to do it because I'm a people pleaser. I like to keep clients happy and everything else. And I felt like if I had that accountability of someone being like, right, you've got this check-in, how
Fair
have you
enough.
got
Yeah.
on? I need to make it so I don't look a dick when I check in and I've got heavier.
That's what I tell
Um,
people when they say, "What do you do?" I'm like, "We tell you what you need to hear rather than what you want to hear." Like, I'm sure you can back me up. Like,
mm,
we're not here to babysit. We're not here to mollycoddle people. And if that means that we essentially turn some people away, so kind of be it. But I feel like, especially with the industry we're in, we fall lapse to so many excuses. Like, you need to be told. Like, it's not in a dickish way, Sam. You're a fucking
mm.
idiot. What the hell are you doing? But it's like, cool, dude. Like, what are you doing? Like, what's happening in your life? Like, why haven't you been able to stick to X, Y, Z kind of thing?
Yeah, and I think that was one of the parts that I was a little bit worried about. I thought, is someone going to be shouting and swearing at me at like 6 in the morning? And I'm like, that's the last thing I need. But what I actually found was that when I was on it, especially with like the group chat and everything else, it was like a community where it was like, well, how can we help like on the plan, like when I was chatting to you and everything, how can we actually help to make this fit around you working away and stuff? Because
Yeah.
with the best will in the world, you can't in any plan. Not even just if you're a tradesperson. It's really difficult to stick to any kind of plan. I mean, plans just in general are a nightmare.
Change.
Things
It's-
happen.
what,
But
what time are you finishing? Well, I should finish at 4, rocking at 9 o'clock at night. That's what I
yeah,
mean. It's the plans are built to you being a tradesman, but they also,
yeah,
what I mean. We try and educate you as much as we can because I don't think there's ever been a day where I finished on time. And if you are, you probably won't
mm,
like hearing this being the boss. But the days where I did finish on time, I leave early, and the boss is driving the other way down the road, so it don't happen very often.
yeah, yeah. That's right. And I think it's like I said right at the start. What I found was when I first started, I was like, right, I've got to be on this. Like, literally, I can't have that extra like 10 grams of chocolate, or you kind of like. I went into it
Grain
really like
rise.
trying to, yeah, like literally like to that like those little margins. But what I quickly found was that, some days if you're just like, right, I just need to have a little bit of something just to perk me up.
Yeah.
It don't as long as you're doing the main stuff right, it doesn't make that much difference.
Nah, it's
It's
consistency.
if you like throw some, if you go slightly off plan and then over the weekend you just have takeaways and you smash, you actually like burn the house down over it. It's not like that. You can have a little treat now and again. It doesn't actually make much difference as long as you get
It's
back onto it.
consistency. Yeah, that is the thing. It's not being so like anal about it. I used to be like to the actual calorie. Do you know what I mean? Working on fucking hell,
Mm.
I've gone 5 calories over. I better do 5 steps, and it's like realistically, mate, it does not matter. But one thing I've written down that I want to touch upon. So
Mm.
when you joined us, you had the one little one, and then obviously
Hmm.
we're going to touch upon the photo shoot where you got oiled up, you push yourself out your comfort zone and
Yeah.
stuff. But you had another one on the way.
Mm.
Um, before you started with us, then what was it in particular that you were actually struggling with? Like, what was it telling you, your alter ego, you need fucking help? Like, you're struggling with
Mm.
X, Y, Z.
I think it was just like knowing what to do. Everyone knows that, like, if you eat fruit and veg, then it's healthy. If you eat lots of chocolate, it's not, kind of thing. But it's actually what I found was I was just like, I don't even know where to start. Like, how much do I eat? When do I eat? How do you work out? Like, I'd never been to a gym, never lifted a weight or anything like that. Like, it
Write
was
that
all
down.
just so alien. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you're gonna pick up on
A
that.
man who never trained. Just we're going to
Yeah,
touch upon it, but just to give the viewers a little bit of something to look forwards to. I remember seeing you checking form clips, so to speak, sending me over form clips. Why is why, why is this guy in a t-shirt and a woolly hat and gloves lifting a barbell
yeah,
outside? But that's what we'll touch upon as well. But so
yeah.
obviously you were struggling before you started. Was what I guess were your initial fears, like expectations about the program? What was it? Maybe thinking, oh, I don't know if this should I do it? Shouldn't I do it?
I think it was like with a lot of things, it was a fear of the unexpected. Like I just or of the unknown, because I'd never worked out. I'd never been on like any sort of plan. I always tried to. I didn't have a horrendous diet, but I was overdoing it on certain things, and obviously I was doing a lot of fast food stuff. So there was kind of like the bit of nerves around how much is this going to impact? Am I going to be up till midnight trying to prep food and all this stuff? And like I said earlier, it ended up being nowhere near that. It was just perhaps it was like getting into a bit of a rhythm. But I
Yeah.
was really fearful of just looking like an idiot and not doing stuff right. But yeah, I think that was probably my biggest fear of just the unknown, really, because I'd never done anything like it.
I say it on socials all the time, but like people say, I think your time's meal prep, and then it's like I see so many guys queuing out. So I've queued in Greg's and Costa, and you're 3-4 deep. Like
Mm,
it's taking you at least 10 minutes. So realistically, I had a guy as well once. I won't name names, but he used to say, I haven't got time to meal prep. And then when I questioned him and asked him about it, he was cooking every night and that was taking him half hour every night. And I'm like, mate, you can do it once a week, twice a
yeah,
week, half an hour. Like, for what it's going to take you to, say, measure 100 gram of potatoes, you might as well do 700 grams, do it for the week. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Do it at once. So work
yeah.
smarter, not harder. I want to go on to your experience and achievements. So, noticeable
Mm,
achievements. I think you are up there with one of the longest serving clients. So, Sam actually isn't working
cool.
with us anymore, guys, but he was with us at 84 weeks. We're going to touch upon why he isn't with us anymore,
Mm,
which is kind of a good thing as well.
mm.
Noticeable achievements I've written down. You went from 82 to 69 kilos, so you lost 2 stone. Incredible body transformation. If I get time to edit, I'll stick up a little transformation photo somewhere, but if not, I'll stick it on the thumbnail. 10 centimeters lost off your chest. Again, you went from 100 to 90. Waist, you lost 15 centimeters. So you went from 90 to 75. But I remember looking at your photos initially. You probably, like, if I said to you, Sam, you're going to lose 2 stone, I bet you didn't think you had 2 stone to lose, did you?
No, no, I didn't. And I think that that feeds into what a lot of people think. You kind of you don't see yourself gradually getting kind of bigger and stuff. The biggest thing that a load of people noticed within a couple of weeks, really, or certainly within a month, was my face. My face just absolutely shrank. Like I had massive, great. When I look back at those photos, massive, great like jowls like a hamster. But as soon as I got onto a bit of a routine, it basically just fell off. And like you say, I had no idea where that was going to come from until I actually started seeing the difference.
Yeah, and it's nice as well. I'm assuming, like, well, I know it's nice, you know what I mean? There's nothing better. Yes, you feel good within yourself, but when people start complimenting you and it goes from on site instead of people being like, "You fat bastard," do you know what I mean? Which people
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Unfortunately, people do take the piss. And then when they start like, "Cool, Sam, how, what are you doing? Can you tell me what you're doing? You look pretty sick." Like, it's a good feeling.
Mm,
But I want to ask you, one, obviously you achieved a fair bit, which we're going to touch upon the photo shooting bits and pieces. But what was your, plus, did you have to pick one standout achievement or one standout kind of thing that you achieved or took from the program? What would it be?
Oh, I mean, the photo shoot was a massive achievement because it did two things. It basically moved me outside my comfort zone. Like I've actually been able to post or see images of myself like that. It was just mental. But just being able to show like the transformation from going from where I was to where I ended up with the photo shoot, like just reflecting on that and being like, I never thought that was like anywhere near possible. Like Instagram is obviously mad for like showing things like that. It might not be fitness related, but just people in awesome shape. Everyone shows the best stuff, and you kind of get yourself into this idea that that's just never going to be for you.
It's not
Like
going to
that's
be
just
true.
other people. Other people do that, and you don't. And the reality is that you can do it as long as you just stick to a plan. And it's amazing how quickly that becomes like just a rhythm, and you just get into it, and it's nice and easy.
Yeah, I've spoken to people before, and if honestly, I'll shout him out if he's listening. Jamie, Jamie came on board and he joined off the back of his mate doing it, Jake, and he said, "I didn't think you was real until you ran that photo shoot and you put an Instagram reel up and you were having a meal with him all." I'm like, what do you fucking mean I'm not real? Of course I'm real. But yeah, it's mad. Like
Yeah.
you see so many things on socials, you don't know what to believe and what not to achieve. But
Mm,
again, what to believe. But we want to again achieve results that again you look at and other people look at and you're like, holy shit, how did this guy achieve it? But
mm.
I've written down on my notes, you are unique in bold in bold letters. So before you joined the program, never lifted the weight before you started. You trained at home. You went out. It was either Decathlon or Argos. You bought a 40 or 50 pound set of dumbbells and a barbell.
Yeah.
So do you want to give us and the listeners a little bit of an overview into what your training setup looked like, and
Hmm.
again go into the gloves, the hat, the training outside?
Yeah, so it was the fact that I was never done any kind of I've played sports and stuff, but never did any sort of real fitness training like that or strength training like that. And so I didn't have anything. Like the closest I got to like lifting weights was like lifting a solar panel or lifting like rolls of cable and stuff. Like that's basically as far as I got.
We've all done
And
that walking, curling the
yeah,
cable.
that's it. Like, oh, maybe I could do this. So I didn't really have any experience on what to do, and sometimes it is a bit intimidating going into a gym and stuff. Unnecessarily now that I've found out and kind of been experimenting with it, but I felt like I wanted to work out in the privacy of my own home, but also it fitted to like sort of kids, and obviously my wife was pregnant and like a lot of stuff going on. And I thought I'm really going to struggle to get the time to actually go to a place and work out. And so I bought a £50 bench from Facebook Marketplace, because there's always so much stuff on there because people start and finish their journeys, and you know, however long or short they are, there's always loads of stuff on there. And then I bought, I think it was £100 kit from Amazon that had like a barbell, a couple of dumbbells in. And I just got it set outside. And when I started the plan, it was kind of nice weather. Towards the end of that year, obviously, we're getting into the horrible weather. So I ended up like, when I sent the form clips, I ended up with like the fingerless gloves on, hat on, and all this. And I'm there absolutely freezing my nips off,
I was
trying
gonna
to
say,
trying to do these workouts.
for reference, I've got clips same day. Sam's training in the dark, and then he's been out there when it's gone from dark to light, and then the last form clip it's like light, and he's gone from
Yeah.
wrapped up woolly hat to just in a t-shirt by the time he's finished.
But it added an extra layer into it. I was like, I can if I can do it when it's cold and it's starting to rain, and like, don't get me wrong, sometimes I went into the garage like when it was absolutely pissing it down. But when it was cold and it was like spitting and all that, I thought, if I can do this now, like I can do this whenever. Like this
Yeah.
is this is the biggest. It's kind of like a bit of a mind. It's like a workout for my mind. Like I just got to get this done. And the feeling when you get that done, even if you have to cut it short by like 10, 15 minutes because it's started to absolutely chuck it down. Like you obviously you feel it physically, but the mental like boost you get from going, no, I got up, I did it, and now I'm ready for the day. And also from a business point of view, who else in my competition is getting up and doing that? So if I
Yeah,
can get up and do that, I'm ready to go for the rest of the day. There's not much worse that can happen
nah, you
for the
feel
rest of the day.
you feel set up like you've done something, you've ticked the box. Other than, do you know what I mean? Otherwise, you're getting up, you're feeling guilty. And a couple of things you said there. So, one, nobody ever regrets a workout. I don't know anybody who's ever done one. And yeah, you might be like, oh shit, that was hard, but nobody ever's like, oh, I fucking wish I didn't do that. Second of all, obviously, the amount you spent on dumbbells, a bench, and a barbell, somebody could. I've had people before spend it on a daily or a weekly basis on a takeaway. And
Yeah.
then again, it just goes to clarify that people thinking you need the best gym, the best equipment, the best training program. Like you said earlier, consistency literally beats fucking everything, whether that's business, whether that's training. Like consistency and just putting the reps in is what's going to get you results over anything else.
Yeah, and the other thing that I didn't mention there is the knock-on effect that has across like your family. Like the wife started doing some stuff, and then like even down to Rosie, my eldest. She's I won't get in her in. I wasn't like going right, go and lift some weights, but she wanted her own like because I bought one of them like yoga mat things
Yeah,
just
yeah,
so that
yeah.
when I had to do it when I had to work out inside, I wasn't on the hard floor, and she was always using it, so I got her own one. So she's there doing like trying to do little press ups and stuff. But like the knock on effect of all of that is just you can't really kind of quantify that because you don't know how what that's instilled in her moving
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like leading from example, isn't it? And then as well
yeah.
on that, like you mentioned, your exercise mat used to. So for everyone listening, Sam used to work away a lot. Obviously with Dean and stuff as well. You used to do a lot of traveling and used to take your blimmin' like, do you know what I mean? Your exercise mat with you. We used to give you hotel room workout plans, so there's no excuse saying, "Oh, I can't do it. I work away. I'm never in the same place." Like we literally tailor it around your lifestyle. But next in line, then next on the timeline, we done the photo shoot. So you messaged me and was like, Joe, I'm having another little one. And I'm like, holy shit, the guy's leaving. He's like, I think I need to challenge myself. What's this shoot you
Yeah.
got going on? Like the client success day. What is it? Let me jump in. Like, if I can do it when I've got a little one on the way, like imagine, do you know what I mean? If you can do it when life's tough, imagine when life's easy. So
Yeah.
walk us through, I guess, how you felt initially when you kind of jumped into it, because I know that you were a little bit hesitant, and then kind of what you
Yeah.
took from it as well.
Yeah, so obviously on the group chat that we all had, you said you were doing another one of them, and I was like, oh, I'd love to. I think I could probably do that, but I was kind of lurking in the background, seeing who else was going for it, and it was just one of them things that it felt like a bit like when I kind of pulled the trigger on the plan initially.
Yeah.
It felt like that again, and I was just like, this is like a next step up. But I feel like if I can hit that, I'll be able to have like something forever where I'll go, this is what you can do if you really want it,
Yeah.
you can do that. Unfortunately, I'm not completely in the same shape as I was during that now, but I know that I can get to that
You know
with
it's possible.
6 weeks of really hard work. But
Yeah.
I've maintained a really good baseline now, which is really good. But I felt anxious doing it, but then equally we were all chatting and we were all in the same boat, and the day was just it was such a
It's
laugh. It
sick,
was so
wasn't it?
good.
Yeah, it's a good laugh, and I think everyone needs to do, not saying a photo shoot, but a marathon, a 10K, a 5K. Set yourself something that's outside your comfort zone, that's difficult. That's where growth happens. You know what I mean? That's where,
Mm,
like, I could probably say to you, like, I can guarantee that you've learned things about your discipline and dedication that you never knew that you've now taken on to obviously work and stuff like that. Like, because you do have to dial in if you're doing something, if you want to get a good result, and you've proved that you can do it. And now, like, when you need to flick that trigger, whether it's business, whether it's fitness, do you know what I mean? You can do it.
yeah, absolutely. I think you can, especially when you are running a trades company or any company really, you can kind of get in the day to day, kind of ticking the right boxes, saying the right things, but then until you do something like that that's so wildly out of your comfort zone, not only to like push yourself on the fitness side, but also to have it kind of out there in the wild for people to say positive things or negative things, that's like another challenge. And it's there forever now, and I can either show it or I can hide it. It's there. People can see it.
Photos are
So
framed on the bedroom and everything.
yeah, no, not quite, but yeah, I could do if I wanted.
Right, moving on. Next one I've got is
Mm,
I want you to run through. So I'm a big believer that obviously fitness is the foundation for whether it's life, whether it's business. Like fitness, honestly, I think sets the tone and sets the foundation for your discipline, your consistency, like just your all-round habits and stuff. So I guess what's different about your outlook on fitness now compared to when you started? Like how do you approach and look at fitness now compared to how you did back then?
I think the first thing is I've got an idea what to do. Like I said, I'd never had any idea what to do, and so you just don't try because you're like, well, I don't even know where to start. So I think that's a big one. But the other one is that I don't have to be perfect every single day, like or really any day. You don't have to be absolutely perfect. If you are, that's great. But if you're hitting it like 60, 70, 80% on your plan, and you have days that are higher, days that are lower, you're moving forward, like you're doing real loads better. And I also know what the reward is from doing this sort of stuff now in terms of like how you feel and what you
Yeah.
can do. So yeah, I'd say that really.
Wicked. I've got written down as well. Obviously, you were here 84 weeks, which is incredible. It's like a year and a half, and
Mm,
you're obviously not working with us, which is obviously always a bit gutting to sort of wave goodbye to a client, like I said to you. But when you said you were leaving, like I said, we can't moan because we've technically done our job. We've taught you everything you now know to giving you the tools so you can go away and
mm,
kind of maintain it. And like I say to people, if you're going to invest into a program and it doesn't work and you're just going to leave it after 8 weeks and not keep the results, it's like taking on an apprentice who's going to be an apprentice for the rest of his life. Like you probably wouldn't take
mm.
him on. Like you want to learn enough so you can eventually do it by yourself. And obviously, like I say, if you do come back, it's because you either got an event or you want to kind of just take things to another level, or you
Yeah.
realise obviously the accountability and stuff. But it's a good thing that, like you said, you've realised we've taught you how to kind of sustain it by yourself. So I want to move on to you just giving a little bit of sort of coming towards the back end now so it doesn't run on too long, but your tips and tricks for the viewers. So I guess how did you balance fitness with family, work, and like what are your tips and tricks, I guess, to fit all that in to be more efficient? So if somebody's sat here like, "Oh, I got no fucking time, how am I ever going to do it? Like, how did you balance it, and what's your tips and tricks for anyone listening?
Yeah, so I mean, the first thing, just quickly back on why I'm not in it anymore, was because like you said, I'd learned all that stuff. I wouldn't say I know it all, 'cause I definitely don't. There's definitely still gaps, but I think the good thing, and that would tempt me back is knowing that it's not like a pyramid scheme where you're like, oh yeah, but you need to pay for this, you need to do another week, you do another month. It's a case of if you're ready to go, we wish you all the best, and we hope to see you back. It's not like a trap, and that was another sort of anxiety triggering thing right at the start. I was like, am I actually ever going to be able to get out of this? And the reality was, it was basically a big support network to help me get to where I wanted to be. But in terms of my tips and tricks, I think get yourself like a 2 litre or litre and a half water bottle, because the whole water side of things.
Anyone watching on
Yeah,
YouTube or whatever, have a look.
yeah. I was looking for mine just before this, but that's something that stayed with me because as soon as you get dehydrated, you just feel terrible. And there's so many of us, especially in trades, we don't hydrate enough. So yeah, the hydration side is a massive one. But just trying to hit. I would say the thing that really helped me was like just thinking of the day to day. Like with even like the photo shoot thing, I wasn't even really thinking of the day. I was like, what do I need to get done today? How can I squeeze something in? I don't have to be perfect. I just need to do as much as I can that day, and then tomorrow start again. Like what can I do that day, and just basically move things forward. So hitting the basics like the steps, the water goals, like trying to get up to the protein side, but meal prepping as well. I was very lucky that my wife took a big brunt of that, and helped a lot with the meal prepping side of things, and just being prepared and trying to have like a bit of a structure around your day and kind of sit and look at what you've got that day. If you're going to be working away, making sure you've got the stuff to work out whilst you're away, so you don't fall off the train. But if you do, then you just pick it up the
You
next
get
day.
back on it. And what you said there about like one day at a time, I think is important. Like, for example, if you'd have come on board and I said, right, Sam, in 6 months, 8 months time, you're going to be 2 stone down, you're going to look like this, you'd be like, holy shit, there's no way. Whereas
Yeah,
if I'm like, cool, like 3 days, let's nail it. 1 week, you're going to be here. Like, all I want you to do is focusing on dialing in the next one day at a time. If this don't go to plan, we get back on. Like I say, it's small compound things. Like it's
yeah,
can't think of what I'm trying to say, but small, simple things. Like people try and overcomplicate it. Do the simple, basic things well, and you'll get very, very far with that. But
yeah.
go on. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say it is like that. There's that other one where it's like where you're building a wall, you do it one brick at a time. Like you just have to. That's how
Great
you like.
analogy. I love it.
Yeah. Well, there we go. So it's literally every single day you're just putting another brick on that, and you're just building it and building it up and building it up. And that's all you
Okay.
can do because you can't do it overnight. So you no need to worry about trying to do it overnight.
You can't second fix a house before you've pull the wires in, can you?
Exactly. That's it. That's it.
So, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Like, try
Mhm.
and keep them to 1 sentence answers. So,
Okay.
number one is what would you say to anybody sat on the fence and thinking about starting a fitness or fat loss journey, whether it's with us, whether it's by themselves? Like, what would you say to anybody sat on the fence thinking about doing something about it?
Don't be scared. Crack on. You will never regret it.
Love it. What would you say to your past self looking back now?
Don't be a fanny and get on with it.
Love it. Real talk. I said it was going to be
Yeah.
real talk. And then number 3 is what is the one tip you would recommend to tradesmen out there listening, but struggling? Do you know what I mean? Struggling to fit anything in. What would be the one tip, or not even fit it in? What would just be the one tip you could give to any tradesman like looking to get on the fitness journey?
Focus on diet. That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing because you're already in a physical job. Focus on the diet side, and it will start to work out
Yeah, I was
straight
gonna say,
away.
you can get incredible results literally like just dialing in your diet. If you're
Yeah,
working away, you can't train. Like that is the one thing that's overlooked. And obviously, a lot of tradies are out and about in the vans and Gregs and shit, but we won't touch on that. So I guess coming to a close, what's before we run through where people can find you, what's next for you, Sam and Oval? I guess it'd be nice to hear obviously where you're going with the business because it's obviously doing really well. I see on YouTube, so I'll be coming to you for
yeah,
YouTube tips.
yeah. It's going really well. We're just trying to keep the wheels turning as we all are in our own different businesses. For us, we're just expanding on the solar and battery side of things, looking at potentially going into heat pumps as well. Lots of different things happening, but basically just continue to grow in that renewables area of sort of electrical and potentially plumbing and heating as well.
Love that. And then where can people find you? I guess if there's any potential customers out there or anyone looking for obviously networking or solar tips and tricks or electrical
Yeah.
tips and tricks, like where can people find you on all socials?
Yeah, so we're across pretty much all of them really. I'd say Instagram and YouTube are our biggest ones where we put the most stuff. There is stuff on TikTok and that, but it's like a weird place is TikTok, so I've kind of kept away a little bit.
Posting, don't look at the messages. Is what I do.
Yeah, I just don't dive too far into that one. But yeah, I'd say YouTube and Instagram. But yeah, we've got a really good community on there that we chat all the time. So yeah, always looking to expand it.
Love that. Perfect. So we'll wrap that one up there. Hope all the listeners obviously enjoyed it, whether you're listening or watching on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you do it. Remember to like, comment anything you want to see on future episodes or anything you found useful, or just big up Sam and his results. Subscribe, obviously, if you're not already. Share it to a friend who you think might benefit. And if you want more info on what we do or see results just like Sam, there's links in the description where you can head to the website, see results just like Sam. You can message me on Instagram for a chit chat. Not chit chat, but obviously ask any questions. And then obviously if you do want to book a call, there's links to book a call if it's something that you feel like you might want to find more info or get more help on. Is there anything else you would like to say before we go, Sam?
No, I think just thanks very much for having me on, and yeah, just anyone listening, sort of on the fence, just crack on and do it. You'll never, honestly, never regret it.
Stop being a fanny. We'll wrap that up
Exactly.
there. Thank you very much and see you next week.